Enduro Chronicles is your ticket to one of the hardest sports out there. Dirt and mud will hit the fan as we report from the most extreme events and get up close and personal with the hardest athletes in the sport. In this first episode, we are at the season-opening Tough One event at Nantmore Quarry in Shropshire, England, and will follow one of the sport's top riders, Graham Jarvis.
If I don't win, I'm sure I'm going to still enjoy it, but second's no good to me.
The beautiful and picturesque landscape of Yorkshire, England is home to the main man in hard enduro. This typical English countryside is torn up most days by Graham Jarvis, who uses this terrain as an ideal training ground for his chosen profession.
I think extreme enduros is such a varied sport. If you're classing the indoors in the extreme, it's a sort of different sort of sport, but it's a lot faster. So I think there's a few riders that are near the top and they've all got different skills. I think I'm very near the top on most of it, and probably when it gets really extreme, I'd like to think I'm the best.
Being the best takes time and effort that Jarvis mixes with passion. The Brit feels his sport is so much more than just hard work, however.
Everyone has a bit of fun as well. It's not as serious as a lot of other sports, and there's not millions of pounds involved, so you can go there and you can have good fun with the riders, and in general everybody gets on and has a good time. In my trials days when I was younger, I was following the likes of Steve Saunders and always used to watch videos and try and learn from the new techniques, because with the trials the techniques were progressing really quick. Yeah, 2011 was a bit of a dream year, really. Extreme enduro is hard to be consistent just because of the nature of the sport. A few people expect me to win now, so there's a bit of pressure to perform, but I think there's always going to be pressure when you're trying to win. So, I mean, I've been riding professional since I left school, so it's what you sort of get used to it and you learn to cope with it. But once you're out there riding, you would tend to relax and enjoy it. And, yeah, just go for it.
From Yorkshire to Shropshire and the Nantmore Quarry that plays host to one of the most extreme races of the year. Freezing temperatures and typical English weather do their part in ensuring a challenging day's racing.
Getting all prepared, I think we're ready to go now. The Tough One's a big battle.
Well, the course is looking good. Riders have got the bikes in position on the start line.
Okay guys, good afternoon. Pro riders only going first. Expert riders form a second line behind, please. 2.5 hour race. The checkered flag comes out at the leading rider nearest that time. And remember, you've got 50 minutes in the dark, guys.
The Tough One is a race that eliminates anybody who can't hold the pace at the top. Everybody who falls behind by more than 30 minutes will be taken out of the competition and will be forced to watch from the sidelines. Graham Jarvis in the black jersey on the Husaberg is already in second position. Can he keep this pace going? Hard enduro is a sport that is difficult to describe and even harder to understand. Why do these athletes torture themselves with dirt and pain just for glory and honor? We asked a few of them this very question.
Extreme enduro is about trying to race your motorbike over some of the most technical and physically demanding terrain that there is around.
Extreme enduro is something that is not only physical hard but also mental. You need to be mentally prepared to suffer a lot.
It combines man-made obstacles with natural terrain, and it's a great sport. It's a heap of fun. It's really hard work as well.
I think basically it's about taking an enduro bike to its absolute limit. It's basically going over stuff that would probably be most suited to a trials bike in a lot of the places.
You've got to be able to put your brain aside and just say, no matter how painful this is going to be, no matter how tough this is, no matter how much I sweat, bleed, you just got to keep going.
Stay tuned for a season full of spectacular races around the globe, featuring the toughest men in Enduro Chronicles. One such tough man is Graham Jarvis, who likes to relax at home.
These are some of the memories from last year, so now we're going to go out and do some training, see where I practice. It's hard to get yourself motivated sometimes when you're on your own and it's raining and it's cold. And yeah, it's just something you've got to do if you want to stay at the top. I think because the sport is so physical, you have to be fairly disciplined, so there's not too much going out and drinking, and yeah, it tends to be just a lot of riding and training. And secret location where I do most of my training. I don't want anyone else coming here. Yeah, this is my main practice ground because there's a bit of everything, some nice rocks. It's got roots, ruts, so plenty for a good workout. The extreme enduros are so varied and different, so you do have to train a bit different for each event. When you got like Romaniacs with the GPS, and then the more intense races, some of them a bit faster. Yeah, every race is different, but in general, the physical training is fairly similar.
In addition to the hard training, his early years as a trials rider have helped him develop his skills.
A lot of the trials riders realise that they can do quite well at the extreme enduros, and it's something different for the trials riders to do. And I guess when I get to the events, I'm just sort of concentrating on what I need to do and trying to focus on getting everything right and not making a mistake.
Back at the tough one, the competitors have been racing for well over an hour, over a mix of natural and man-made obstacles. The tough one has also claimed its first victim. Local lad Paul Bolton has crashed and is out of the race. In the meantime, Graham Jarvis's training is paying off and he leads the field. In comparison to some other riders, his style looks effortless and graceful. Behind him, the second place sees an all-out brawl between Ironman Wayne Braybrook and Ben Hemingway. Graham Jarvis is in a class of his own. Following a successful 2011, Graham Jarvis is confident and very much looking forward to the coming season.
Yeah, 2012 is going to be a good year, I think. There's new events coming up, which is good, so you're going to new places and new experiences, but I think there's going to be new riders coming through as well. It's going to make it interesting, but I just know you're just going to have to give 100% and got to enjoy it at the end of the day as well.
The events that Graham is looking forward to are Hell's Gate, City Scramble, Romaniacs, Sea to Sky, and Roof of Africa. But there is one event in particular that sticks out for him.
You always just want to get the first few competitions out of the way and then try and hopefully build my fitness up, and I think my main aim for this year is to be on top form for Erzberg. Erzberg's the main one, I think, because it's about the only one I haven't won, so yeah, it's the one I really want, and that's what I'm aiming for, really, main goal this year. If I could just win Erzberg and nothing else, I'd probably accept that.
Really?
It might not be Atzberg, but the tough one is providing a stern challenge in the darkness. For most riders, there is one underlying goal: for the day to end. 2 hours of riding has taken its toll on the terrain, and it's hard to find traction. Starting things off as he ended last year, a dominant Graham Jarvis wins the 2012 Tough One. In second place, there is still the head-to-head battle between Wayne Braybrook and Ben Hemingway. Braybrook eventually comes out on top.
Yeah, I was about third off the start, and then after the first lap, pulled to the front, and then didn't look back. It's an awesome feeling. It was the first time on a fluke, so good to get a second win.
Graham proves that he will be the man to beat in 2012 as he takes over the lead after the first event of the season. Wayne Braybrook is in second and Hemingway in third, providing an all-British lockout. The table will surely see many more twists and turns come the end of the season. Join us for the next edition of Enduro Chronicles as we look at all the best action of Le Touquet and catch up with one of the event's veterans, Paul Barbara. All this and more on Enduro Chronicles.